right. All right, we're ready to go. Welcome to the Wisconsin Den User Group.
Thank you, appreciate it. My name is Timothy Goebel. I've been doing AI, computer vision for over 10 years now. I've been doing it in many different industries, all the way from military, sports, to healthcare and stuff like that. What we're going to dive into, I'm not going to teach you how to build a VLM, because they are very complicated, and I don't think we have the time to go through. So I'm just going to dive into the high levels of it, and we'll go from there. If you guys have any questions, we could pause me, we could have questions as we go and answer them right away. So why does this matter? Well, before in computer vision, you could do object detection, pattern matching, stuff like that, segmentation. And well, now what you could do is you could actually get text out of the information, like explain what's going on in the scene. If you want, instead of building another model, let's say an object detection, you could actually prompt it to actually tell you what you want to grab out of it. So if I want to say we're in a room and I want to detect people with cell phones up, it will actually go around in the video, find out who all has the cell phones, and then I'll ask it in another task to pinpoint a certain person. So I would describe that person, and it'll actually go through and pull out that information. And then after that, you could actually take it one step further and have it create reports and continue with reports, timestamp, and continue on. The reason for these is more hospitals are looking to do these, like medical. What's the other one? Manufacturers are looking, and then there's police body cams are all looking to have this done. And it's because it actually shows accountability and shows what's happening in there and explains it. What is vision language models? It's vision language models. It's two models. You can have a text-based model for encoding, and then you can have the vision-based model too for decoding as well. So you're using CNNs and encoders and that as well. And the images are grabbing captions. So you want to actually grab the captions of what's going on in the video. But one thing I didn't explain is we all know how to prompt. The thing with the tokens and all that, you try running a video that is 5 minutes long, you're going to eat up a lot of prompt, a lot of tokens right away. So what you have to do is chunk it. You have to take chunks of the video and send that through. So you got to learn how to grab chunks of video, send that through, and it'll give you the information that you want based off of that prompt. The ones that I played with that worked really well is Clip Dally, OpenAI imaging. And then there's ChatGPT Turbo. I'm going to show you guys an example of one at the end. It's ChatGPT Turbo on a body cam. And it will actually prompt it, chunk everything, and take it out and split it all up. VLMs enables communication seamlessly. So we could actually get, if you know how to prompt, you could actually know what you're looking for in videos and pull that information out that you want. VLMs are changing the game. There's, like I said, a lot of companies. I could actually name one. GE Medical, if you guys are in the VLMs, they're looking for someone to do it. Also, Abbott Manufacturing, they're looking to do it. And Johnson & Johnson MedTech, they're all looking to do this stuff now. The reason why they want to start showing accountability of that stuff. And what it helps is with smarter automation, improves decision making, and yeah, that's it. This one, I pulled this up because this is everyone. A lot of people I know is trying to do prompting on and vision on edge devices. Well, the problem with using a Jetson or what is it, a Raspberry Pi, you don't have that compute power. So what you have to do is you gotta balance what you're trying to do. So this is a Jetson Orn AGX. It'll run it, but if you want high power for like medical and all that, you have to use an IGX Orn 700. There are big price differences, and the reason for that is you want to stream live videos, and then if you want to do object detection with it, because now you can actually do an object detection plus have a bunch of prompts in there as well. You can get more information because you're localizing exactly the object that you're looking for, and you want a lot of detail out of it. And then once you get that information, you can pull it out, have it overlaid on a screen. But remember, when you overlay computer vision stuff, you got slowing down of compute power. So a lot of times people don't overlay stuff, they just keep it outside of that. The other thing is for the monitoring, you could save the videos off as it's going with your CSV file when you do the chunking, and also the PDF where it has timestamps and the report that you're looking to have it generate. Any questions? This is an example of a multitask prompt. The prompt here is, if you see where it says prompt, that's an input. So as soon as you put an input to it, and like I want to detect a person, I would have that automatically filled as an input of a person. Then down to the next task, there will be a search object. So you could have an object detector, detect an object, have that fill into as a search object. Or you could have it as another prompt with that instead of, like I want to search a weapon. I would have that put in weapon, so now it's looking for a person, a weapon, and it'll pull off all the information and create a full report. And it'll give you the timestamps and all that as well. Manufacturing. I talked about a little bit of manufacturing with Abbott, but there's other manufacturers that are looking to do stuff like Foxconn. They look for components on circuit boards. Like they do Amazon circuit boards, they also do Google circuit boards. They got to detect over 3,000 components on a board. They got to detect, is it skewed, is it rotate? Well, if you have a VLM detected, you don't have to have all those object detection. It could detect exactly when something's skewed or missing. It'll detect it right away and generate a report and be able to trail that back where the errors are coming from. It helps reduce inspection time and minimizes errors. Healthcare diagnosis. You could do VLMs on those with videos when you're doing surgery. That's something that GE Medical is looking to do. And so is Johnson Johnson MedTech. They want to actually implement it while it's going into surgery when you have cameras going into your bodies. So they want to be able to detect stuff immediately because the human eye can miss something, and they could actually detect it right away and be able to send an alert immediately and have a report generated at the end. E-commerce. This one I like a lot because my friend is a CIO of Nike, and me and him, we talk a lot. Nike and them are looking to have VLMs to be able to walk in, detect your shoes, and be able to help you optimize what you want to buy. So you'll be able to say, this is the design I'm wearing, this is clothes, and it'll actually help you pick out the best stuff that you want to buy. So it optimizes customer service even more. And then it'll actually go into inventory or even help with design. Robotic, autonomous vehicles or autonomous robots, VLMs are very important there as well. I worked on a robot recently detecting boxes, and they wanted to track everything, but they needed a VLM to be able to come back and say, is this quality control? And being able to have quality control on the boxes of shipping is important. Well, if you take it back to Figure, well, Figure is actually using a form of VLMs as well. when they have these robots coming into BMW doing manufacturing work. They're actually being able to detect stuff and have explanation and do reinforcement learning from it. This one I like a lot because this is something that I started playing with to see if it is possible. Because there's so many police and wearing body cams out there. You can imagine the amount of hours that they have to go through videos and search videos and say, okay, does this happen? And generate a report. Well, now if you actually take a VLM and you run it off the body cam videos once they get done with their thing, their day, it could automatically generate a report for them at the end of their shift before they even leave. And then they don't have to write anything up. They would have to just go back in to verify did it miss something. Something that I was trying it with was, I saw a video out there of one body cam that the guy said, oh, he had a gun. And I was like, okay. And I watched the video. It was so quick, it went by, and I didn't catch the weapon either. So all of a sudden I put this through, and it caught it. And I had to go back to the video to see where it caught it, because it actually timestamped it. And it actually was. The guy was carrying a gun as soon as he exited the vehicle and took off. So there's a great use cases, but no one's doing it yet out there.
On the VLMs, how much pre-training do you have to do of the system before it knows what it's looking at?
Right now, I didn't train any of my VLMs, retrain. But if you want, like in the medical industry, you do have to retrain that VLM. And it's all on their reports, documents, multi-angles of the camera.
But how does it know, how did it start to know? Is it using the database in the sky to compare what things are?
No, we actually have to go and create like if I have a video, I have to go create another script going all the way through that whole video to explain what's going on. And then you train that video on that. And then once you get that trained, you don't have to train it. And then you have memory of it. Now with ChatGPT 4 and GPT Turbo, you have memory so it actually memorizes it as well. Great question though. And then once you have that, it takes a lot of time to build it. I mean, and then the compute power. You can't just, I wouldn't say, you need a lot of the GPUs to actually train it pretty quick. But if you want to train it at home, it'll take a couple hours. Depends what you have. All right, let me show you guys this. It takes a few minutes to run it. When I run it on a desktop that has more power, it takes like 5 minutes to run, or less than 5 minutes. When I run it on this, it takes a little longer. So here, I'll go here. I want to do body cam. Prompt. So remember I was saying chunking, they got a chunk of videos. There's where I have it set. I have it selected frames are extracted. It would be 30. Number of frames per sequence is 5. And usually, if you up this and don't do every frame, it goes quicker, and you get still the same amount. Depends on what you're trying to do. You could get different information. So it'll say it'll hallucinate in one way, but if you figure out the balance of it, it won't hallucinate. The reason I have enter filter is because I don't want a report that has everything. It's just garbage. I mean, you don't want to have to go through a bunch of garbage.
Is that processing on your Jetson right now?
Yeah, it's processing on that. So right now, I have it extracting and analyzing everything. So it's gonna process this. I can play a video at the same time. But it doesn't matter, it automatically, it's playing it in the background too, right? And analyzing that whole video. So I have it connected to OpenAI. I don't show the key because I burned through that key so quick. But you have to use Turbo. If you don't use Turbo, it does not work. You won't even do a VLM on it.
It does just the chunking on the Jetson, or
Yeah, it does chunking on the Jetson.
it does everything on the
Yeah, I have all the code in there to grab only chunks of the video before it sends it.
So it's sending it.
Yeah, it sends it right to OpenAI. So it grabs a chunk of it, sends that, grabs another chunk, grabs that, and it also timestamps it and creates a report. Like the report, let's see.
How expensive is 100 hours of video that you're sending up to OpenAI?
I burn through on video anywhere from $40 to $50 a month from doing it myself.
Is that just with testing? Like,
Yeah, that's what testing.
what do you think it would cost if it was like, I guess, French kids, perfect world, optimized, done?
If it was optimized, you could probably get it down to like $20.
$20 a month
Yeah,
per video?
depends how long that video is. So here's a report, an example of a report that it generated. I was doing one on kids because that was one that I did talk about daycares. I don't know if you guys know about all these daycare kids get hurt at. There's no accountability. Well, a lady hit me up and asked me to build her a monitoring system for a daycare. And she walked away. She wanted to do it at her house first. We detected her kids playing, but then she didn't realize it was her in the background yelling. It actually picked up her voice and said that what she was yelling at her kids for. And she was amazed because I was blown away from it too, because I wasn't trying to pick up voice. All I was trying to do is detect the action. So they actually picked up her voice, added it to the report, and she was moved forward with it. Now she gave her the code for it. So it actually tells, like she wanted to know about kids climbing. She gave me a video on the kids climbing, kind of detected climbing. So I was looking, searching for climb, how accuracy. So I put in there exactly the confidence that it's the kids climbing. And it gives their additional report into it as well. Let's see. Yep, it's already done. So this is what it ends at. I could click on it. This is an actual CSV. It tells me when the frames start, stop, and the detection. And it detected an object. So it said I was looking for a gun. It actually detected the gun. And it actually explains first sequence shows driver vehicle confidence 90, and it goes through it. And then you can download it, the CSV file, you can download the PDF, and then you have your full report. And like I said, it does the whole video, everything. Now, once they have that, now they have accountability. They can put it into their database. Now they have on that and the video to tie to it to the database, CSV to the database. Now they have all this information for everyone to have. Especially if it goes to court, now they have information to prove, okay, here it is. We don't have to run through the video. We know right where it's at. Timestamp in the video, where it detected, and we have that information. Any questions?
So, Gen AI, with the same prompts, multiple runs, you can get different results.
Yep.
How consistent is this if we're gonna rerun that video again?
It all depends on, if I change the, how many frames I'm chucking, it will hallucinate, it will change. If I retrain that model specifically on the, like, people detecting the actions and all that, it'll be more accurate. But if it don't have that stuff, you're gonna have that biases, it could hallucinate. That's why you gotta make sure you set the threshold, what accuracy of you want it, so you know to go check it. Yeah.
I'm sure you've experimented a lot with different models from, OpenAI, Google, and you name it. What is one that you have found to be the best when you're doing this stuff, and one that you can say, it's really not that good?
The video needing books. And, yeah, I would go with the video things and use that. Because one, if you're gonna run it on an edge device, it's small enough and you can stack models. So you can prune it small enough to make sure that you can add in other models to get additional analytics, and it's more powerful.
I know you mentioned that you're using this with ChatGPT or GPT models. From an open source perspective, what would it take to keep this kind of body count footage private and still be trained?
To keep it private, you would have to run cloud. I would run it on, maybe have security run cloud, and that's the way I would do it with it. Then it keeps everything behind, and certain people have the access rights. Even on an edge device, I would have the edge actually connect to the cloud. So when you're done with the chunk, it actually doesn't store it here, it sends it right to Azure or AWS or whatever cloud you're doing. And then it's not out here, it keeps it secured up there. You can't pull it out.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? No? That's all I got.
All right, excellent.
If you guys want to see it and try it out, it's in my Git repo. As soon as it comes up. It is on my repo. You just gotta go to find VLM on there, and it's in there. It doesn't have the new prompt that was showed here. That I did not put up there, but it has some basic prompts up there.